Reviews, episode 282. Let's not beat around the proverbial bush. These are the best transmogs that we've seen in ages. This suite of transmogs features the Pioneers, the Macaron Guards, the Onmyujis, the Second Awakened Griffins, as well as the Robos. And each one of them looks absolutely peak. I've been waiting for the right opportunity to get a new skin for my Wusa, and I jumped on this one like right away. I mean, just look at these things. They perfectly blend that pseudo like cyberpunk look with that Eastern vibe. I even love Pungbake, and traditionally Pungbake has been like my mortal enemy in the Summon Henge. It's such a beautiful blend of art and pixels. Now, when it comes to the Robos, you guys are gonna have to tell me which one you prefer. You like the Game Boy version of them or this new one? And when it comes to the Griffins, I definitely think that Bernard is probably a highlight. Even their first and second skills that are definitely more subtle than the others add this new, fresh sense of impact when they land. And I really appreciate that detail. And when the Onmyuji, specifically like Tomoe or Domen, get like a crit animation, they shake the screen. And I don't think I've seen that utilized yet. And then what is there to say about the Macaron Guards? They have dumplings now. That should be enough. Those are available in game right now. Tell me which one is your favorite and if you got any of them. I got Wusa, but I already said that like 3 times. If you're watching at the time of release, you have something to look forward to tonight, and it's the SWC 2024 Japan Open qualification match. Just like last Friday for the China qualifier, we're doing the same thing again today. This is the equivalent of a cup, and by the end of it, we will have one finalist going to Japan for the World Finals. It'll be me, Stoic, and Sean B commentating the EN cast, so make sure to come by. It's at 10 p.m. Pacific time tonight, again, if you're watching on Friday. Oh, but again, it is on the Summoners War esports channel, so make sure you're subscribed to that. I'll put the link in the description again. So this video right here is an oldie but a goodie, and it's on the top 10 transmogs in Summoners War. And I feel like it's fitting. If I had made this today, I think I'd make these new transmogs pretty close to the top, but you'll have to tell me if that sounds like hyperbole or not. I firmly believe that they deserve it. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Keep on farming, and I'll see you right back here next week for episode 283. Thank you. Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to Summoners War. My name is Come2Evan, and today we are doing some more account reviews and progression tips. If this happens to be your first time joining for something like this, what I do is hang out in chat channel 10, and I answer your burning questions. If you want your account reviewed, if you have a question about the game, if you have an issue or something that's impacted your progression, otherwise halted something in dungeons, I'll jump on your Sky Island and do my dangest to answer it and see if I can give you some personalized advice. Let's say hi to folks in chat real quick. Soden4890, what's going on, dude? Michael, welcome. Kanagi, Fastlix, Banan, so glad that you guys are here today. Hey, Evan, how are you today? Good day so far? Kanagi, I would say so. I've been listening to audiobooks on my way into work, and I've really been enjoying the one that I'm listening to right now. And yes, I would love to. Fall, says the famous Evan. Dude, Fall, you're my favorite season. That's crazy. It's a pleasure to meet you. Dude, I love Fall. That's awesome. Bane, welcome to the stream. Pierce, hello, finally got to see you live. This is awesome. I'm so glad you guys are here today. What a good one to join for. So I try to do these things like semi-often, right? We look at each other's accounts. I find that it helps a lot because, you know, sometimes you can't see through the fog of your own account. You know, it helps to have someone else's eyes on it. At least that's been the case for me. I don't think I would have progressed even as far as I've gotten. Not that I'm like super late game or anything, but without the help of other people, there's no way I would have done it. Fastlix got a new LD5. Oh, that's crazy, actually. I don't know. Right before I changed channels, somebody just got a Dark Yuji in chat. I think it was 103. I think that was the default one that I was in. I'm in chat channel 10 now, but I think somebody just got this before. That's pretty hype. Fastlix, of course you did. He always has a new LD toy every single time I see him. GZ, dude. What did you get? What did you get, by the way? Is it something within view here? Is it that Pater? I don't know if I remember you having a Pater, unless my mind is just... Wait, why can't I jump on your island? Oh, sorry, guys. Hold, please. Hold, please. We'll stop after this round. Need help for TOA Hell, as well as general for progressing towards 15-star TOA Hell. Dude, Dono. Dude, that is quite the task you're doing, by the way. Death the Kid! Welcome back! Hey, yo. Hey, yo, right back, dude. Oh, you know what? Since I'm wasting time while my Rift Beast finishes. Sorry, guys. Oh, great content. Great content. Wait, you know, Waiting for my Rift Beast to finish. Oh, you know what? I'll keep a speed gem for that. Okay. Let's jump on. Fastlix, what did you get? Let's say she has arena speed lead. Is it mayhaps this Trinity back here? Is it mayhaps? Mayhaps? Oh yeah, bro. Says, oh yeah, bro. Junior says good Sylvia defense. Are we talking about for arena or are we talking about for guilds? We're probably talking about arena from the looks of it. Man, congratulations, Fastlix. That's awesome. That's the only family in the game that you can have 2 independent 33 leads for arena, and have them be sisters. Congratulations. That's really exciting, dude. For guilds specifically. Okay, so chat, let's see what we can do for Oh Yeah Bro, specifically looking from the lens of a Siege or Guild War defense featuring Sylvia, who's one of my most wanted monsters of all time, by the way, because I'm in love with the team-up mechanic. And she has no choice but to bring somebody. Whoa, dude, you've got some good options here, actually. Sylvia, Theo, Lauren is one that Bane sees a lot. Sylvia, Theo, Lauren, or Isis specifically. Use the bat. I don't think that would necessarily be. Oh, Iris. Iris. Oh, Iris. I was gonna say, asking for, what the heck is this doing back here, dude? Iris, LMAO, I need Iris. Huge difference between an LD 4-star and an LD 5-star. I was gonna say, that's a lot to ask for. You want somebody to just have an Isis lying around? I don't know if I could, it's like, that's crazy. I couldn't recommend that personally. So Sylvia, Theo, Lauren, I think is a extremely accessible comp by the sound of that. Everybody has a super impactful first skill in that comp too, right? You bring the Theo, you get big damage. You bring the Lauren, presumably Lauren's bullets will land before Theo's wind up too, so that way you get the defense break into Theo's big damage. Is that the case, Bane? That sounds like that's kind of the case. Like that's the case. She only brings one with, but like, I think I'm thinking. But yes, also Sylvia, Theo, Lauren. Really like the new JJK background in the arena. Me too. And then, so I think that's probably the default one. I do also see that you have a Volantis. You may want to spread those out, but like, this is not a bad first skill to bring. A skill 1 stun is also not bad. Dekeko Games says, hi, what's going on, dude? And let me drop that survey one more time on YouTube, just in case you didn't get a chance to do it. Dudano also says Sylvia, Verd +1 could be an option. Could be a really good option, actually. Let me see what else you have just outside the box here. I don't see a Theo, but I think that could be easily remedied. Could you also do Cocky with that? Could you also do Cocky? And maybe the Smith? Someone says that a Deborah, bringing Deborah with? Maybe. I kind of like the other ones better than Deborah. I don't know why. I think Deborah is just a little bit, because she doesn't have a, well, it's a pretty strong chance to stun, right? 45 chance to stun. Theo in storage, that's not too bad. I think that's a good place to start. Let's jump back out of here and see what we can do. I hope that helps a little bit. Banans says, hey, Evan. What's up, Banans? Let me know what you guys need help with if you need anything. What's up, Stormy? Oh, Majestic Unicorn is here? I must have missed it. Mikhail says, what do you think about having a Belio on 100% crit rate? Works for me, but I've seen people having him on 15. I love a crit Abelio. I actually run mine on nearly 100% crit rate, actually. I think I lowered it to like 85-ish, but it was at almost 100%. It was almost there. So I err on the side of crit damage Abelio because he's just a solid damage dealer and he can really clutch out a game sometimes in RTA. So I think it's worth it to have him do damage. And usually people don't really like focus him right away. Trent, what's up, dude? Hey, Evan, I finally made a new Siege defense, but need better Vile runes for it. Please review my times and teams and tell me how to clear floor TOA hell. Dude, TOA hell is just like, it is such a, you know, for me, it's quite the slog, to be totally honest. Speaking as a player here, I haven't I don't muster up the courage to do TOA heck all the time, just because it takes a really long time. I'm usually playing while I'm working. All right, Bane, sounds great, dude. Trying to cook a new RTA comp. The self-heal on skill 2 combo is nice with this passive. It does. Evan, I got a lot I just can't get down. My Necro 12, oh my God, Psych D's got a lot going on. Necro 12 team doesn't work. Can't win anything in guild battles. I'm not quite sure what to do. Found myself enjoying my alt more at the moment because of it. Psych D, what is the name? Oh, Psych D on YouTube. Look at this, okay. So your Necro, let's start there. Your Necro team's not working. Your Necro team isn't working. So technically this is fine. It's a lower attack leader skill. Oh, excuse me guys, please allow me this. Please allow me this stretch. I'm like, that felt really good. I'm a little sleepy today. I've accidentally stayed up a little too late, a couple nights in a row. But that's only on me. I only have myself to blame for that. So what about this is not working? We might want to check the speed tuning. Let's go look. Let's just look. So ideally, right, you'd want your Emily, right, your in-place Abigail, the light cannon girl. You actually want, so I reckon that it's going to be the turn order, right? So if this is, oh, and she's missing runes right now. Maybe this isn't what you're using currently. Did you swap over to something else? This may not be what you're using currently. Psych D, I die almost every time on it. Same goes for this. Okay, so yeah, I'm noticing that like, right now she's missing some runes, which it would be awesome if that was just, just missed and it's like, oh, there we go, solved. I unfortunately have a massive tendency to constantly take runes from one to another. Got it, okay, so that explains that. So let's talk about the tenets of Necro real quick, just to make sure that we understand how to get that consistency. Having trouble with the consistency of my Steel Fortress, Punishers, Crypt teams, and Abyss runs can consistently do B10 with a Noradot team, but very slow. Okay, we can take a look at that too. I'm down to do like some dungeon deep dives like right now. I actually think for a couple weeks we've kind of focused more towards like RTA and stuff like that, which I have so much fun doing. But I'm noticing a lot of people in here are looking for some dungeon advice. So what I'll try to do, guys, is I'm going to try to kind of go a little bit faster through accounts because I have a tendency to kind of linger here. So what I'll do is I'll give some quick advice and then I'll go on to someone else's. And if you have a question about, say, Steel Fortress, like I know Psych D also has questions about like Steel Fortress comps, right? Steel Fortress Punishers. You can try to apply those to your own situation given like the broad strokes that I'm talking in. Looking back here real quick, right? So the Cannon Girl, you actually want to move first on the comp. And I understand that there's not a full set of runes here. In fact, she's missing the two most crucial, the most critical runes on the entire rune hexagram. Been a while since I watched. JG Blitz, welcome back. I want to say I'm glad they did not give the Dark Steel Commander Nat 5 stats. His damage is quite good. I'm very pleased to hear that review, JG Blitz, because in my testing, in my admittedly low amount of testing, I did not love the results I got from Evan in game. So back to this. Whichever of the two Cannon Girls you're using with an attack leader skill, be it the light one or the water one, you want them to move first. Not just move first, but you'd also like them to contribute damage. That's ultimately what you're going to want to do. So you're going to want to rune it on speed slot 2, crit damage slot 4, and the slot 6 technically doesn't matter too much. I would say that attack is probably preferable, HP is fine. She's ultimately there for her hit count, not for the amount of damage that she's dealing, but if you can get her to contribute a little bit of damage, you'll be happier for it. That's what I would suggest. So we're going to rune her on speed slot 2, crit damage, and then HP or attack. Now you want to look for high speed on this, right? Because you need her to be fast. There is a cap on speed put by the boss, right? But like ultimately you just need her to move first on the comp. If you take one thing away from it, make it be that. So I would say stat priorities are probably going to be speed, crit rate, crit damage. Next, I think you were also using, were you using an Ikaru? So based on this, unless you have determination sets, your Ikaru currently doesn't have enough defense to justify using him. I believe the number that you need is 2381 additional defense, if I'm not mistaken. He took runes off that too. So that's an easy swap. Instead of Ikaru, you can totally just use Second Awakened Rauk. You can use Second Awakened Rauk instead, but we're gonna adjust speed tuning. I'm gonna try to get through all of these real quick and then we can talk about it some more. So you could do Emily, Rauk, maybe, let's hold on the Crow for a second. I would say if you want the team to be like even safer, You could run Fran, but like, I don't like to run Fran on mine. So let's settle on Emily, let's settle on Raoul, let's settle on Aster. And she's a little fast, right? So in this order that we're doing, in this hypothetical, like let's say we're using Lauren or Fran, whichever one you prefer. What I would suggest, oh, let me answer this question from Oogly Boogly real quick. Is there an application process for account reviews? The only application is just hanging out in chat channel 10. Tell me what you need help with, and I will try my best to get to your account too. I just get on people's Sky Island and give them advice as much as possible. So again, back to speed tuning. You want it to be Emily first because Emily's got that skill too that lands 8 hits. I'm scrolling towards Abigail. Sorry, hits 8 times, right? So it's gonna crack through the shield of the boss. Then you want another multi-hitter to go because she won't always have that skill available. So you want to have something. Oh, LMA, I thought this was pre-recorded. No, not pre-recorded. This is live. We are live. Oogly boogly, that thing is googly. I'm gonna suggest after Emily, then you have another multi-hitter going. Normally it would be Ikaru, but in your case, I'd say put your Rauk here. You could put a Crow in this spot because Crow does have a team up. You could do that, or you could do something like Fran, and then Aster, and then why am I lapsing on the name? Shaman, and then Shaman. I think that's the turn order you want to go. If you want more details on like runing, check out the video that I have on the channel about Necroabyss Hard. That'll go in more depth about like runing people and like turn order and stuff. And I know that folks have questions about other things, so let me just jump over. Let me jump in chat real quick. What are your thoughts on Lisa? Lisa the Fire Neostone agent? Lisa, this is from David Perez over on YouTube, by the way. I think Lisa is still usable, especially in places like R5, solo R5, where we need cleanse on a third skill, on an active skill, right? Because passive cleanse doesn't really work for long periods of time in R5. And I specifically say long periods of time because there will be windows of opportunity where passives will be enabled. But because the boss can Oblivion you, it's more valuable to have cleanse on an active skill with a cooldown time, just so that way you always have access to it. Fark version 2 says, my dad actually just submitted a message. His user is Onisan, if you see it. Okay. Oh, how can I make my Giants team faster? Dude, let's take a peek. You know what I would say? I can give you a piece of advice before going in. I would actually recommend taking out the Lucian. I would also recommend not running both Fran and Lauren, to be honest. I think that running both can actually be a detriment once you reach the Abyss floors. Specifically because once you make it to the Abyss floors, the boss is gonna counterattack very, very often. And it's also AoE. It's way more devastating in Abyss than it is in B1 through 10. So what you're gonna wanna do is to mitigate that, you wanna run fewer multi-hits even than ever, right? We already kinda aimed to not, or rather we could kinda get away with it, right? Because Fran and Lauren were so good that it didn't really matter, or we didn't really care or whatever, right? Or they were ruined to take it. But now not everybody's ruined to take it. So what I would say is take out the Lucian, take out the Fran, or Lauren, or both. Instead, you can run Second Awakened Beladion if you still want to use a pseudo start. Oh my God, dude, what? That's crazy. Bro's got a Destiny just casually lying around here. I wanted to verify that her name was Destiny. I don't know why, but I get Trinity and Destiny kind of mixed up. I don't know why that is. I guess the INI, right? I guess the INI at the end. Destiny, Trinity. It's kind of vaguely similar. How do you run Shaman? Shaman's pretty easy. Yeah, speed, crit damage, HP, exactly what Jay Spina just said. Speed, crit damage, HP. He doesn't actually need he's not super demanding in terms of runes because his skill 1 heals, so he'll kind of keep himself and the team alive. He's gonna crit more often than most because he's usually attacking in a dark, so he's got enhanced crit rate. Okay, but back to this. So we're using Veramos on a crit damage build. Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah, I'm happy to see that. We can use Beladion, we can use Shannon as our defense breaker and our attack buffer, respectively. Then we should probably bring another source of max HP damage scaling. That can be the Wind Homunculus. I don't know if you're planning on making him into the Wind one, but I would say you should. And the only other thing I wanted to mention is that Shaman, the light Griffin, is a secret dungeon now. Yeah, it is a secret dungeon, so you could get it. You could probably use Crow in the meantime. The only thing is Crow doesn't do max HP damage scaling. He can do a lot of damage, but it's debuff scaling, right? So it's not quite the same. Oh, and Lynn, Michael Myers, thank you for that. Yes, actually, very true. And Destiny is extremely rare, extremely rare. So that's an excellent monster. Dude, she has like I think her third skill hits like 5 times. It can defense break and Oblivion, and every single hit tries to do both, I think. So it's like that. It's a pretty amazing monster. It's pretty awesome. Okay. Should I go Rage or Vio on Fire Griffin? It's up to you. I like crit damage on my Spectra. So I'd go, if you've got the Rage lying around, you could maybe do that. Okay, let's look around. Real quick, sorry. Can you help me make this RTA better while still staying similar to how it is already? I won this fight, but I think it's just from my opponent. Stormy shared an arena replay. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, so you're using the wind Gojo, you're using Minato. So let's see, guys. Let's give some feedback for Stormy. Angel Cruz, I just asked actually a really good question that I'd love to address. So let me jump into this game and pause real quick. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna pause really fast because I think this is actually a really good question. Angel asked, I'm trying to get into RTA, but I don't know enough about PvP to decide on team to rune. I kind of just have them on semi-random stuff. Maybe there's, maybe I have units stored that are good. So I'd be happy to jump on your account and give recommendations, dude. But what I would say is that for RTA specifically, right? Probably the best thing to do is just jump in and play and like kind of take units from that free-to-play rotation. Like if you're brand new to RTA and you haven't had a chance to really play like with a full comp of your own creation yet, I love the idea of supplementing monsters with those free-to-play rotation of, they're called support monsters, and every season we get a fresh 12, right? And I think that that's exactly how you should kind of use them, is like a way to test out different monsters, test out different like archetypes of teams, you know? And like understanding what those archetypes are trying to do is probably gonna be helpful to you as well. So it's like, do I like crowd control? Do I like cleave? Do I like snipe? And then after that, you ask what you have the runes to support, right? And I think you go in that order, because ultimately you gotta find what you like and then work within it. Do you like Bruise? Do you like something like that? Like me, for instance, I usually play, I kind of play an amalgam of Bruiser. Sometimes I'll go for turn 1 stuff, but to be honest, at heart, I'm a degenerate. I love putting people on cooldown. I like things like Oliver. I love things like Okeanos. I used to play Double Reset back when like Ganioki was a thing, and now we can kind of, we're in a state of the game now where Ganioki is kind of becoming a thing again. So just something to think about. So I hope that answers to a certain extent like a process to go through, but I'd love to look at your account and give you recommendations. Okay, so let's talk about some feedback for this RTA replay right now. So I noticed that you've got the hug, you've got the damage from Minato. I really like the Minato. I don't know if we're still gonna have to deal with the Eladriel coming in a second here, right? I imagine that's gonna be an issue when he eventually probably procs and revives the entire team. That could be the case unless we keep critting. If we keep critting, then we're good. If we keep critting, we are chilling. Oh, he's probably gonna get it. He's probably gonna get it. Steal the immunity, Gojo. Let's go. Oh no, Joe. Oh no. Keep going in. You're doing great, to be honest, with the comp that's here. I had a feeling the Eladriel was gonna be annoying. You have enough damage that you can kind of like just break your way through this, but I'm noticing that there's not a lot of like, there's not a lot of support. There's not a ton of coherency between the team, like stuff that's like trying to work together, right? Like I'm noticing like you know, the Wind Gojo's there, but do we really care about stripping? Do we really care about like taking heat off of these monsters? Because it's like, you know, Minato has built-in protection. Also, like the demon like comes back from the dead and instantly gains like a turn, right? So it's like, you know, we might not need as much protection as this, and there might be better options. That might be something to think about too. We could jump on your account and take a look, because I think that this comp might not need the Wind Gojo. I actually like the cookie more than the Gojo right here. Let me take a peek. Let's go in and look. Where's Stormy? In chat, feel free to tell me if I'm off base, if you guys have different feedback for that too. He needs attack bar decrease. Do you mean you want Wind Gojo to be Cigar? It's like that's what we need him to do. We need him to be Cigar. Okay, so you've got, oh, you also have Chandra to give the hug. That's pretty cool. Stormy, wait, this is your account, right? Yeah, this is your account. What's up, Daniel Kedioko? What's going on, dude? And someone says maybe take Heigang to support. It doesn't look like he's got a Heigang. Wow, you've got a lot of good monsters. You've got Veligul too. But I think, did you say that you wanted to play a little off meta? Because I remember you wanted to play with Helena before. So I'd love to know where you're at with that, Stormy, like, you know, or Majestic Unicorn. Because you actually have a lot of monsters that are being used right now at like competitive level. So live streaming like this must be so scary, says Oogly Boogly. No, dude. No, man. I'm not. That's honestly, I look forward to these streams like so much, dude. I really do, Oogly. I'm glad you're here. Does he have Cigar? Oh man. Okay, wait a minute. So here's the thing, Stormy. So chat, just for like context as well. This isn't the first time we've helped, you know, Majestic Unicorn around. We've looked at the count before, and Majestic Unicorn really likes to kind of play with like units that are not like super meta. You know, he wants to use their own stuff, right? Like that's kind of the idea, and I think that's awesome. I really do think that's great, and I think there might be room for you to maybe employ the use of one or two, because something that I'd also recommend here is like there's a way to kind of play with a couple meta units, not for the sake of like fully building your team to be meta, but rather to deny your enemy the use of them. So there might be something in there that could support your comp. Like for instance, let's say that you wanted to do a crowd control comp with one of your old favorites, Helena, right? Helena is by no means like super meta, right? In fact, you have a couple options that could kind of suit this. Like in Helena's slot, you could use Karnal, you could use Okeanos, you could use a number of things. You could even use Zyros in that slot, or Charlotte, right? But ultimately, your setup could look something kind of like a speed lead plus Cigar. And I'm not saying it's gotta be Chandra, I'm not saying it's gotta be anybody for that speed lead element, but you could absolutely do something like a Cigar to set up, you strip the enemy and deny them the use of their immunity skill, right? Let's say it's a Wusa. Strip and increase the cooldown time of the Wusa, reduce the enemy team, follow up with Helena, or maybe one more thing with like a single target strip just to make sure that you get everybody off will. Then you follow up with transform Helena, AoE defense break, attack bar absorption, etc. Like, to me, I think that works pretty well. So here's what I would recommend for you. Beyond this, the Japan qualifiers just happened on Friday, right? The Japan qualifiers just happened Friday. The China qualifiers happened the week before that, and we have the America's Cup preliminaries on Saturday and Sunday. I would say give those a watch, but specifically look at the units, not from the perspective of like, oh, this is meta, but like, what are these units providing, right? And how could they potentially support them? Because I think you're gonna find that you have like an extremely varied monster box, and you have a lot of depth when it comes to monster selection, which is a great thing. So maybe there's ways for you to use a couple of these units to support without playing within the meta, and instead to support your own strategy. That's what I think I'd recommend. So I would say to watch those like high-level competitive things, you know, and see what people are playing with and why. Guys, I've got kind of an itch. I've got like an itch in my ear. Please excuse me for a second while I scratch it. Thank you. Luffy Fan Club, I'm a part of that. Bartolomeo, is that you? Is that how he pronounces his name? The guy, not the Yoiki Tenkai guy, but in One Piece, there's a character that like can cross his fingers and like make barriers. And he's like Luffy's biggest fan. Oh, you recently came back to the game and you have a maxi? Whoa. Kind of stuck in the mid game, gradually coming back to the game, and I'm aiming for C1. Nice. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Guys, I'm so happy so many folks are here asking for reviews today. This is awesome. This is truly so cool. I will try my best. Let's go in a lightning round right now, yeah? Zoro the GOAT. Heck yeah, dude. Okay, so let's do my best. I'm gonna try to go kind of fast through this. Oh, Stella Maki, you're so funny. The ear itching. What do you need help with, Luffy Fan Club? Tell me what you need help with, and I'll jump on. Okay. Can you check? I need more account. Honestly, arena offense. So this, I'm new. My account is less than 200 days. Can you check what I need more? Mostly for arena offense, defense, and RTA mons I should use. Zeet. Oh wow, dude, you've got quite the selection of monsters for less than 200 days. Oh my goodness. Wow. Look at this. Oh my god, these times. In less than 200 days. Look at these monsters. You've got a Kovarchi, you've got her, you got the Dark Frederica, and you also have Leah at the front. Like, this definitely is a very, very cool account. Okay, my recommendation though, one thing too, for like, if we're talking like regular arena, for offense, Leah is exceptional. I've got to say, she's really good. Chat, you'll have to let me know how good she is on defense. This is not a monster I own. Like, speaking quite plainly, I do not have a Leah. I would love it if I did. I don't. So like, I think she's probably better on offense than defense, if I'm being totally honest, because it's, Leo is an incredibly common pick for offenses. So like, she can have her damage kind of destroyed, right? I can have one of your 4 Leahs? Oh, dude, God bless you. Thank you so much. Evan, what is your drink of choice? I do really like, so I'm not a big soda drinker, right? I haven't had soda in a really long time. I do like coffee. I like tea, I like that. This is like, for instance, this is just water, but like I did have a cup of coffee earlier today. Okay. So you could do Vanessa. So do you like water? Yeah, I love water. I love water. But I'd be in trouble if I didn't like water. That would suck if I didn't like water. Need help on Steel Fortress on EU server. Roger that. Evan, I just pulled water. Twin Angels. What are your thoughts about it? Whoa. Whoa. Fastlix. That's a great monster. That's a super good monster, actually. That's really funny, because I was low-key, like, I was watching or not watching, I was writing a script for a video about those, actually. That's crazy. They're very cool. I will say that. They are awesome, especially with things like Masha. Great setup unit, speed lead, tons of skills to choose from. From the lens of like RTA, Chao is actually a really potent last pick these days. You also have Moore as a speed lead, right? You got Moore. Let's see, Lucia is a good counter pick if you see things like Oliver or anything that's trying to like reduce your attack bar. Like if you see somebody pick a Carnal, you could pick a Lucia. I'd say it's more effective against things like the Olivers, but just purely hypothetical. It was like next door. Vanessa for the speed lead, right? Yeah, for real. I just saw Majestic Unicorn's comment about it being pretty busy. It is. Lanka's great. You have all of the Elemental Dragon Knights. Congratulations on the Elementals. Man, this is another unit that's getting played in the qualifiers, by the way. In the open qualifier for Japan, this was getting played. This is getting played. Also, I mentioned it in passing, guys, but seriously, the America's Cup prelims, we have a 2-day event, so Saturday and Sunday. There's going to be a lot of competitive Summoners War being played, so be sure to watch it. It's going to be awesome. And also on Friday, so the day before, I'm going to be doing a stream with Stoic as well as our 3rd English caster, who I won't say because I don't think it's been said yet. I think it's still a secret. You guys don't know who it is, right? Yeah, I don't think so. Kronuk, thank you so much. Oogly Boogly, is Sukuna viable in anything? Yeah, he is viable in something. He is viable in something. It's technically I've actually been giving him. I tested him a couple times in the Dimension raid, because his first skill ignores damage reduction effects, and so me being the incredibly optimistic person that I am, I was like, oh, you know what, that could work. That could probably work somewhere. So like I ran him in the Dimension raid, and yeah, it does work. It does work there. So, but my real answer, if I'm speaking as a player, he definitely needs something. I think that they went very light on the passive, and there's tons of room to make it stronger. I think they went a little too light on the passive. Dude, yeah. I almost think that like Sukuna could recover almost. Yeah, Sukuna, I don't know. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say what I think. I'm not gonna say what I think. I think there's a lot of room for improvement. For Sukuna's passive, that is. Okay. Dude. Liking this music right now. Yes, I can share my rune cell settings. I can do that in chat. So you could actually run Kovarchi if you wanted to. Kovarchi's pretty cool. Like three turns of attack buff and immunity. That's actually pretty rare. And he's got a boost. Dude, like this monster's so good. Monster's so freaking good. Wait, what is his, just for my notation, he only has 100 base speed, but that makes sense. You could absolutely do like a pretty sick control comp, to be honest. If you were to run like Kid, if you were to do something with Kid, like Kovarchi, and then like something to control after that. I'm trying my best not to say Zen. Oh, you could do Wind Robo. You could do Kovarchi, Wind Robo, Kid, and then you just run like anything to control people. You could do Omduat. You could do like a damage Omduat if you wanted to. To me, I think that sounds pretty sick. Which one is this one? Oh, don't do that one. Not a big fan of that one. You might as well run Oliver with that. You could do Oliver with that comp, or you could do something a little bit more like damagey. You could do Carnal, you could do anything. I think that's kind of a really good, I think that's actually a really good core comps each. Oh, guys. Oh, I hit the bug. Sorry, guys. My game, I'm gonna have to restart my game. So in the meantime, I'll say one more time. America's Cup prelims, Saturday, Sunday. America's Cup prelims on Saturday, Sunday. By the way, when Smeister nerf? Dude, I don't think Smeister needs a nerf. I actually don't. Well, actually, let's ask chat. Chat, what do you think about Smeister? Tell me your thoughts on Smeister. And then I'll tell you why I think that. And then I'll tell you why after that. And for the record, too, we are not seeing a ton of him in tournaments right now. Smeister, apparently nowhere. Boa tarde, Swamp Ninja. Tudo beleza, lindo? Sejam bem-vindos na live do Come to Us. Nerf needed, says Tahir. Smeister's very annoying. Smeister carried my RTA rank. Dude, that itch is not going away. Sorry, guys. I gotta scratch my ear. Dude, what is going on? Strip into silence. Devious. He is broken, says Antonis. Smeister passive is insane, but I don't have any good Oblivion units. It will always be a good dad joke. Yes, thank you, Kaneki. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, dude. So Smeister is like, dude, what is going on with my ear? And Smeister's pretty potent. His whole job is accuracy resistance checks, I will say. So like from the position of playing with a Smeister, I don't have Smeister, but Stoic has Smeister, and I've done a lot of streams with Stoic where he'll bring a Smeister, and dude, it just doesn't do anything sometimes. And man, it's like, dude, that just doesn't feel good. Like it just doesn't do anything sometimes. Like, and you can also just bring a Heigang with like, you can bring a Heigang with immunity, like, and it really hinders him a lot. Or it's like you can run like Juno or like Veramos. Granted, Veramos won't do anything with the stun, but he will do something about the silence. He'll do something about the bomb. So like, I will say that he's really good. He's really good if your opponent doesn't answer it. If your opponent doesn't answer it, it's really good. But like, I think it's okay to play around. I think people have kind of mostly figured it out. We're not seeing a ton of his use, especially in like the tournament play yet, but there's still time. There's still time. And I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's bad at all. In fact, he's exceptional. It's just that like sometimes it feels like he's not doing much, you know? But that's part of the whole thing about like having your whole job be accuracy resistance checks. Oh, Majestic Unicorn, I did not. Let me write it down. Let me write this down though. Thank you so much for the reminder. I completely forgot about that. That's a really, really good reminder, actually. Okay, so we just talked. Let's see what we can do here. Rune says, Runeblow EX, I need help coming up with a good turn 2 RTA comp, Mr. Evan. I'm struggling here. C1, oh dude, you got Toji? Dude, we got Toji in the profile picture. Let's go, Rune. Dude, he's the best, man. The one that left it all behind, baby. Oh my God, so good, dude. He's one of the 3 ones in JJK. So dope. Okay, turn 2. Turn 2. Maybe we use the Zeratu. Wait, maybe we use, dude. Hold, please. I saw 2. Let's use Zeratu, dude. Wait, where's the bird? Where's Jara? I thought I saw Jara. Am I tripping? Is it Runeblow? Is there a Jara here? Zero. The one and only. I'm the Maxi guy. You just read my message. Do you mind looking? I really want a sub 1 minute Giants team that's safe. Recommendations. Wiz, is your in-game name the same, by the way? No Jara. Okay, I must have hallucinated that. Okay, let's see. Dude, so if you haven't seen, if you haven't watched the Japan qualifiers yet, I know I keep referencing them, but they're on my mind and for good reason. Runeblow, I highly recommend that you go look at what Takuzo was playing. Takuzo was playing some cool stuff, dude. So he was playing Zeratu with the Light Unicorn, right? I notice you don't have the Light Unicorn, but I don't think you necessarily need the Light Unicorn to make it work. I actually think you can probably supplement it with either Molly or with Ileana or something that can give... Oh, dude, you also have the Audrey. That's pretty awesome, actually. Audrey is unironically pretty fantastic. So I think, or you could also probably do a Gapsu. I just think Gapsu's kind of more like high profile these days. People are looking for him. To me, I think Ileana. I think Ileana would be super sick with this for twofold reasons. One, you could give him invincibility. Then you're giving people immunity as well. To me, that's really great. I actually think that Ileana could probably replace that. Plus, she cycles. Dude, she cleanses and cycles. I think this monster is like low-key still so good. I think you could do Ileana with Zeratu, and then with some of the other monsters that Takuzo was running. They're kind of escaping me currently, but I think that's what you should run. Now is this, oh, you also do have the Water Unicorn. The only thing about this is that she doesn't heal, right? She doesn't heal. She doesn't do exactly what the light one does. So that's something to keep in mind. I would look at that comp and maybe look to see like what sort of caveats you can make to establish the same sort of flow that was in that one. But it looked really fun to me, man, and I think you would have a good time playing it. I actually think it would be really cool for you to use the Zeratu because he is pretty hot. He is pretty hot, I gotta say. Like, that's, so Runeblow, I know that we're kind of like, we didn't spend a lot of time there, but like, dude, I would do it. Where's Wiz? Ellie Dunk, my bad, Ellie Dunk. Getting better runes and teams, I'm Wiz in chat, any suggestions? So let me address this real quick. He has, oh dude, he's got the Nide win. Oh, I love it, dude, all these JJK fans. My people, dude. Oh, let's go. Let's talk about JJK. I want to talk about JJK. Do you guys like the chapter? Oh, wait, no, don't talk about that, actually. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about the manga. For real, though, actually, we shouldn't, because I think a lot of people are, more familiar with the anime. Stellar, thank you so much. Daddy Evan, hey, yo. It is a weird way to balance between the damage and beefiness of the Zeratu. Yeah, and I think Takuzo's supplemented it really well, and also Zeratu's most recent buff is pretty good on him. Yeah, dude. Thank you. Rune Blow, great way to phrase that without accidentally, like, spoiling it, you know? So that I completely agree. Totally thought Gege, like, forgot. Clearly he didn't. He had a plan the whole time. I'm very thankful. Very thankful for that. We believe in Gege Akutami. David Perez, yeah, you're so nice, man. Thank you. It says, thanks again, bro, for being so informative. That's really, really nice. And I won't drop any spoilers, Kanagi. I know that a lot of folks are still in the anime. Lightning on for Angel. Yes, I'll jump in there. The JJK is still fire. I agree with Boobly. So you're looking for faster Giants time? Dude, I think you might actually do okay if you just take out the Crow. I feel like if you took out Crow and maybe did Lin instead, I think you'd probably be okay. To me, unless you wanted to build the speed team. And that's the one that features Teshar. I'm not sure if you've got Teshar, but you might be able to supplement it with something else. Yeah, Lin would be pretty great. And I noticed that you're using Kyle for the Dragons B12 comp. That's great as long as if this is consistent, fantastic. But if it isn't consistent, I might recommend taking out the Seek and the Kyle for now. And instead running something a little bit more consistent. Like, when I say more consistent, I mean you could probably just do like, oh, it's not consistent because of Galleon. Dude, you know, yeah, I'm not the biggest Galleon fan either. Honestly, you could start making moves towards the team. You could run like Prylia in there instead. Prylia is the Wind Harpy. She was actually featured on the top 10 fake passives in Summoner's War. If you guys haven't seen that video, by the way, I love that one. Toji is dope. I really like Toji's, like, yeah, Toji's super dope. I actually named a plant in my house Toji. Super silly, I know. If you guys haven't seen the video on the top 10 fake passives in Summoner's War, you should take a look at it because I really like making that video. That was a fun one. And Prylia is in it because every single attack defense breaks. Every single one. So she would be a really good replacement for Galleon. And then instead, I truly would take out the Crow and put in Lin for now and just see what happens. And then maybe make it so your Wind Homunculus goes second. So that way, if you miss a defense break, you have a chance to do it there. But let me show you what I got. So where's my, so this is the Giants team in question, right? I watch all of your videos, Evan, more than once usually. Dude, that's so nice. Oh, Angel. Just made my day with that, thank you. Just made my day, dude. That's so nice. Oh, you guys rock. So I actually don't know, admittedly, how this would work, but if we took out the Teshar and put in a Kamamir, what are we thinking, guys? Do we think that could work? Is that silly? Would it function? It's not exactly the same because, like, what Teshar offers is very specific to this, and the crit rate lead is, it works as Flop Easterman. Should work. So like if you put in, so think about this. Think about this. Why a Kamamir? Oogly Boogly, it was purely because Wiz had one. That they had one. And it's a max HP damage scaling unit. And it has 2 AoEs. That's why I recommend it. That's why I'm thinking that we might be able to get away with it. Try it. I don't think my Kamamir is ruined. Whoops. It is not. It is not ruined. Should I ruin it? Wait, it's missing skill ups? Dude, I don't think this is gonna work if it's missing skill ups. No, dude, that ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't working. But like it works, it'll work with Teshar, but that's not gonna work, I don't think. My despair set. Oh, Majestic. Seppi and Evan were the reason I played this game for so long. Now just Evan's videos, but they were also informative. I'm so glad, dude. Thank you. I had a great call with Seppi yesterday. We had so much fun talking. Evan, my R5 fail alive. Please help me. Damn. Oh my god. Okay, let's keep going. So that's my suggestion for dungeons. By the way, congrats on the maxi. The maxi is fantastic. Let me go back up here. How much y'all think my account worth? Oh my God! Wow, that's a lot of LDs. My God. Woo! I'm not gonna answer that because I can't. I'm not answering that. I'm not touching that. Okay, that's against TOS. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. However, I will say that account had a lot of stuff on it. All right. Oh, Carnegie says, all right, I'll offer them a bagel with cream cheese. Final offer? That's one of my friends? You guys are killing me today. Oh, you guys are so funny. Okay. No problems, Heat. Dude Man Guy says, need help with coming up with RTA comps. I seem to be lacking control and snipe options. You've been playing for 27 days? Well, no wonder you're missing stuff. What the heck, dude? You've been playing for is this a new account? Like in terms of, what I mean by that, I phrase that very strangely. Let me reiterate. What I mean, clearly this is a new account. What I mean to say is this your first account? Are you new to the game? Or is this, because what the heck, dude? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Could be, but dude, this is like returning player from a long time ago. Evan didn't even check Miles' dungeon times. Dude, I wasn't gonna touch that one. Iconic FPS says, Dude Man Guy is me. So, is this your first account? Because if so, you have truly done your homework. You've like put either way, even if it's not, you've really put the effort in here. You have a giant speed teams already. Oh man, this monster I played maybe 6 years ago. Okay, so that's a long time. It's a very new game by this point, right? Like Summoner's War has changed a lot since then. This is an interesting monster. Yeah, this is a really interesting monster actually. I fought one yesterday. Yeah. I fought one on Revenge and it was very annoying, actually. But I don't know if I'm gonna recommend that because I think it's a little esoteric in the runing. Bellio is pretty hot. Miles, Water Gojo. We've got some good counter picks. I see what you're talking about. Oh, and you have Heigang too. So sometimes, oh, I see a Ciara back there. She's been gaining in popularity. You got Mi Ying. Oh, okay. So what we could do is you could do either like a sort of bruise comp, or you could go crowd control, like a soft, like attack bar crowd control. So the things that jump out to me from here is like you could do a Heigang and Wind Robo. You could also do Ciara if you were so inclined. And then like that whole comp. So basically what you're doing is you're essentially drafting a counter. Heigang doesn't like strictly counter the Robos because the Robos reduce so much attack bar that Heigang can't boost that much. But people still draft Heigang against the Robos because usually it's like you bring Heigang against a certain play style and they fit that play style. So like you could do like Heigang with a Robo as like a draft. Then you bring like Ciara, who also she absorbs attack bar on her third skill as well. And she's a speed lead. But I don't know if you're trying to go fast or slow with this. You actually have units that could support both, which is great. You have flexibility in this. What if you did Heigang Lucia? Does he have Lucia? Lucia is in the Fire Pudding Princess, correct? I don't see a Lucia. Or am I tripping? Maybe I'm tripping. What is this? Jasmine? Wait, Jasmine could work on this comp, actually. That's so funny. Wait, where did she go? Jasmine could actually work on this comp. I don't have her. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I don't think you need that specific. Oh, that was a general question. My apologies. Not at all, dude. You're good. We're chilling. So So if you were to go like Hagang, Wind Robo, and then something, it doesn't have to be this, but something like this would be very cool, right? So Hagang's got the strip, Wind Robo's got the strip and the pushback. Then you Jasmine to defense break and put them on cooldown. Like this is the sort of thing that we're looking for, right? Like, so that's kind of your control option. Doesn't need to be Jasmine. I mean, heck, it could be Poseidon for, you know, who knows, right? It could be Ciara. It could be whatever you want it to be in that slot. But let's hypothetically say that you wanted to do like Bruise instead. Maybe you would draft something that's more akin. You could still use Ciara. Ciara is flexible enough that you could actually use her in either. So you could do like Speed Lead of Ciara, then go Abellio, then go like Mi Ying if you want, because playing with your LD5s is very fun, right? LD5s are fun. Then you do like Gapsu and Riley, or like instead of maybe Riley, you do something else that could offer like a bruiser potential. That's what I would say for RTA. I've been playing with my LD5 Lydia more, and I find that I'm having a really fun time doing it. So you might want to incorporate your Mi Ying. Guys, this might be me restarting again. Hands up in chat. When I come back into the game, do you want me to go to EU server, or do you want me to stay on global for a second? Let me know. Shaft Thruster, what's up, dude? I wanted to start doing RTA since I have a lot more time these days. Some team comps. Dude, that would be awesome. Mi Ying feels so turn 2. He is very turn 2. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of demand for global. Okay, I will stay on global for a few more. I'll stay on global for a little bit longer. Here, hold on. Let's close Summoner's War and bring Summoner's War back. Oh, you guys may have noticed I got Soul Strike open in another tab. We're doing a Soul Strike stream at 2 p.m. So if you want to come by, I would love for you to join. Even if you have like a passing interest in it, it'd be really cool. It'd be really cool to see you guys there. Soul Strike's fun. Soul Strike, if you guys haven't seen it, it's like it's an idle RPG from Summoner's War, or from Summoner's War. It had a collab with Summoner's War. It's from Come To Us. But like I was very drawn to it because of like the art style, also the gameplay itself is great. Guys, I'm joining back the chat channel, by the way, so if you want to jump back in, you can. The skills, the art style, the fact that you have more control over your character than in most idle RPGs. Like it's only as idle as you, it's only as idle as you make it, you know? Like there's a lot of times where you have to take over. And I love that. I really like the degree of control that it wanted me to have over my character. And so anyway, but you can hear me talk about that later today. Again, that's at 2 p.m. Okay, we're still on global. Immortal Luke, please help me with my arena offense. I've been struggling to climb. You've got Leah. I imagine you're using it. What comps can I put my Maxi with? Because my only option is turn 1, but as a returning player who barely played, my fastest Swift set is plus 180 on Cigar. That with Speed Lead isn't outspeeding in F3. You might want to put it on something that's not Cigar, because Cigar actually has a really low base speed. So like for instance, if you're doing something to pair, if you were doing something that you wanted to cleave with, you'd probably want to opt for something that's a little bit more like, that's probably more like attack buff, attack bar boost instead. You'd probably want to go with something that's a little bit faster instead. I mean, if you wanted, you could also do Gemini. You could do Gemini to strip and put a defense break on everybody. Like you could go something that way, but I'd see people opt for like a Nikki with Maxi. And I understand that most people will not have both a Nikki and a Maxi. But the thing to keep in mind there is that Nikki doesn't strip, she attack buffs. So if you were to bring something that has an attack buff to facilitate the damage from Maximilian, or something else to do cleave damage, that's what you could do instead. Maybe Cigar is more indicative of something that's like more of a control comp or a turn 2. Also, I'm so sorry, Xeno Spartan. I don't mean to skip you. That's my bad. I'm sorry. We're talking arena offense. Speed Lead, cool. Let's see if you've got like the hallmarks, right? You got Leah. I imagine you're playing with Leah? Oh shoot, dude, you got the Dark Yennefer? Oh my god, that's so awesome. Congratulations. That is so sick. Okay, how weird are we getting? Because you could just do like, you could do the cocky cleave shell but replace Kaki or like one of the other units for Leah. You could go like speed lead with Strip. Unfortunately, I don't see a Tiana. Unless I'm tripping, I don't think I see one. Ooh, you could also go Jogun, actually, but I think I'd prefer the Chiwu. I like that Chiwu puts the glancing, so you're kind of like, you know, inhibiting the clapback a little bit. So let's assume you're going Chiwu. Let's go Chiwu with like Chiwu, Galleon into Leah. Chiwu, Galleon, Leah +1. I think that's probably your arena offense monster. Your arena offense team, rather. I don't know what you're playing with currently, but like I think that that's probably what I would do for that one, Immortal Luke. Oh my goodness, what is going on? What is going on, dude? Why am I getting this more? Why am I getting this more often? Do they have Adriana? I didn't see if they had Adriana, to be totally honest. Evan, what is objectively the best transmog? Objectively speaking, the best transmog, Oogly Boogly? Wow. Wait, should we see if we can come up with an answer? Chat, what is the objectively best transmog? Because you're not asking for my opinion. You're not saying subjectively. You're saying objectively, what is the best transmog? So that's a good question. There is actually, I did a video on the top 10 transmogs in the game. Like, this is pretty good because it's a vast improvement. Oh, you know what? Wait. Actually, I think there is an answer. I feel like there might be an answer. I think either Lucian or Verd, to be honest, to be like just I think Verd, any transmog for Verd, because he is so important and you use him everywhere in the game, but his base form is just kind of nasty by today's standards, right? I think anything that vastly improves upon the original design is probably the answer, right? Like not only is it well designed, but it's also very appreciated. So I think you could probably say that like Verd, Lucian, you know, something with like usability. I think it'd probably have to be Verd if we're going with that angle because he's used in so many places. Verd is ubiquitous. You use him basically everywhere except Giants, right? People don't use him in Necro, but you can technically get away with it if you rune him on damage. So, Trent, please review me. I've been working really hard on my dungeon times. Oh, Trent. Okay, let's see what we can do. Wow. Oh my God. Did you switch to EU? No, I did not. People asked me to stay on global for a second. Dude, 10 out of 10. What is this bat doing here? What is this bat doing? Is that bat just holding fight runes? What's going on there? Is it literally just there to hold 3 sets of fight runes? Wow. Evan ignoring my replay. Oh wow, this looks like a fun replay. Okay guys, let's watch Fastlix's replay with the new Trinity. Oh dude, is he about to stun an Ongiyuki? No, it resisted the stun? What? Dude, that's awful. That's awful. Wait, oh, there we go. Now we're chilling. Wow, okay. That was almost devastating. The opponent should have picked Shama. Dude, he keeps sleeping the Ongiyuki. This guy doesn't know what's going on with Ong or what? Oh yeah, I'd love to see a rare Lydia game. Wow. Yeah, this guy, I don't think this guy understands what's going on with Ongiyuki. Nice. That's nice. That is really good. I have no idea how PvP goes. Oogly Boogly, it is admittedly got a pretty big start. So, Ongiyuki is basically what I'm poking fun at is that Ongiyuki wakes up from crowd control in his turn, and he gains attack power if you do it. You also can't kill him while he's crowd controlled. So like he can just turn a game around. So if they facilitate that, then they are kind of signing their own doom warrant. Hey Evan, would you be able to get my Dragons team sub 1 minute? So let's see what you're working with right now. There comes a point where in order to get it, wow, your time is very close to 1 minute. What you might want to start looking into, let me just look at this real quick. Let me see what you got going on before I start making like blind assumptions, right? Let's look. So Where the heck is your Lauren? Let's check your Lauren. The next thing that you want to be looking into, right, is there's 2 steps. The second step is a speed team, right? So that's talking like the Kyle comp, right? Something that moves really fast and can clear very consistently. But the first step would be fight runes. So like what I would start saying is splash some fight sets around. Your Lauren has a lot of accuracy. That's great. She doesn't need 100% necessarily. You actually have stats that you could lose here. So you could take slight inefficiencies, quote unquote, and replace these sets with fight runes. And then that might be enough to push those extra few seconds out the window there. So this is a very key place to look. Lauren, I think, has the most room for flex. Also, I noticed that she's missing some skill ups. This actually could be hurting you in the long term because it reduces her cooldown time. So like when the boss gets his immunity, you're gonna wanna make sure that she's got her skill 2 up, considering that she is like the only source of strip on the comp, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. I would absolutely level this up, and I would look for fight set opportunities. What is the legit safe team with Kyle? So it's not really like a safe team. How do I phrase this? It is safe if you can get the stats. I'm in the process of making it. I don't actually have it built yet. It's very, exactly. I think Floppy Sturban put it exactly how it is. It's not that it's safe, it's that it's super rune intensive. Once you have those runes, yeah, it'll run consistently. But if you don't have them, it's not gonna work. Salty Brawler, good afternoon, dude. Welcome. Oh yeah, it is already afternoon, isn't it? So there's an opportunity here to put a fight set. You could totally take the inefficiency to do it. These are great stats on the Verd. These are great stats on the Verd. Look at that, 203% crit damage on this with 100% crit rate, obviously, right? But like that's a very good, very, very good Verd. And then for your Crow, I notice your Crow he may not have gotten a lot of rune love recently. If you still want to use Crow, and I'm down for using Crow, I love Crow, right? I'm Crow's biggest fan. But what I would say is to just check to see if you've gotten any better runes recently. And I would also grind some of these, right? Like there's this one that has no grinded attack. This one's also, it's not really contributing much actually. This one is not really contributing much to the cause, to be honest. Really the only thing that we care about in here is the attack. And of course Crow does need a little bit of speed, but he's not, like, we can find that in a rune that might be contributing crit rate and crit damage instead. This rune isn't really giving us too much stuff. So start looking with a critical eye, right? Like this rune's not that bad. Attack slot 2 with crit rate and crit damage is great, but I would start favoring crit rate over crit damage, right? That's just something that I would try to say, because normally a blade set is a cry for help. So that's something to keep in mind, Viper. But I think your teams are looking really good. Also, just a quick note that I would throw in at the end as well, and this is not just for Viper, this is for everybody. If you're running a team that has a minute or close to a minute, and it can do times 30 consistently, that's great. I would consider that a win, right? Like, don't put too much pressure. If you want to do it, then go for it. But just know that like 1 minute consistently for 30 runs is totally fine. All right. If you can't R5, do more R4. Any extra stats help. Very true. Could you help me find a TOA team for normal? This is a really important one. So let's talk about this, Jaden. This is definitely an important thing to talk about. Hey, Evan, can you please come to us Overlords to increase our monster storage with all the new monsters and all the dupes? I need to build for Siege. I'm running out of space. Dude, yeah, let me check with John Come to us. Oh, nice, you got a Tiana. That's great. Oh, the music goes so hard. I love it. Okay, at your next opportunity to choose a Nat 4, because sometimes those actually do kind of come pretty frequently, what I would recommend doing is prioritizing getting a Tyrone, the Water Sylph, but there is stuff that you can do in the meantime. your main source of crowd control can actually be Veramos. Veramos actually has a really good skill 2 now. Back in the day, I don't think he would have fit this role. But now that if he doesn't stun you with skill 2, he'll reduce attack bar. And that actually gives you a lot of wiggle room. So in the meantime, what you can do is you can use Veramos, you can use Fran, you can use 2A Rogue. I really like Lauren, and then I like Verd. This is actually that's a comp right there that can actually do some work. Notably, it's missing, I think, one source of crowd control, truly. So what I would recommend doing is either fusing a Sigmaris, finding a Tyron the Water Sylph, or can this work? I know that this provokes. You could also use Jean, the Light Paladin. I'm not sure. I think this is a little slow. I would recommend doing like either Jean or Sigmaris. Maybe Jean. Use Eluin. Spectra. Somebody said, oh yeah, you know, I didn't notice Spectra in here, so I forgot to bring up Spectra. Spectra is the Fire Griffin. Oh wow, you don't have a Spectra at all. It might be in storage. Perhaps it's in storage. But Spectra, the Fire Griffin, is also exceptional for TOA. And Jaden, if you have any more questions about it too, because I know I didn't go into a ton of detail about it, you should check out the Trial of Ascension team guides that are on our YouTube channel too. That I go through a few teams and talk about runes, I talk about turn order, I talk about stuff like that. So take a look at that if you get the chance. Where is Lightning? Weren't we talking about Lightning? Or was that on EU that you needed help with? Shaft, if you can help with team comps for RTA with my box, let's look. Shaft Thruster has like a really like extensive monster box. So let's see, because this is going to be a fun comp. This is going to be a fun account to talk about. When is Europe? I could go right after this one. I could do Europe right after this. I'm sorry guys, I know I'm keeping a lot of people waiting right now. I think we want to prioritize your LDs, right? You have a lot of good support monsters, and not strictly, I don't mean like strict support, like healing and stuff like that. I mean like units that can support your LDs. Like Lima, Osima, oh, dude, and the Byung, oh man, I love the Byung-Chul actually. You got Seimei. Oh, Cadiz, we might run something like that. Can we make this work? No, I'm not gonna force the Gurkha. I always try to force Gurkha on people, and I don't want to do that. I think your strongest thing might be leveraging your Han's Dark Speed lead. Like that's the first thing I see. Angel, I know you've been busy. I've just been waiting. It's Lightning. I was just looking on. Oh, you say you just posted. You just posted. Okay, I'll double check it because I looked for Lightning, but I didn't see it in there. You actually have like a pretty strong full Dark comp. If you wanted to go that direction, you could absolutely do something with the Han speed lead. You could do Sun Zhong Lao, so that way you could like do some AoE crowd control. Then you have the Dark Robo, and I was gonna recommend somebody else. Who was I about? I was about to recommend a Dark. Did I say Cadiz yet? Maybe it was Cadiz that I was gonna recommend. You can also bring Gapsu with this, right? Oh no, it was Frigate. I was gonna say Frigate. You could actually use Frigate with this. So you could go Han speed lead, Dark Robo, Dark Siri, Frigate. Like you could actually go either control or you could go Bruiser. If you go with the Bruiser, instead of picking that stuff that I just mentioned, you'd probably do something like Han, rune more HP than like necessarily Fragile. You can actually get away with a pretty strong Han, like a pretty tanky Han with a lot of additional damage and accuracy on skill 2 and 3. And then what you could do is you could run Gapsu with it. You could legitimately run Gurkha if you were so inclined. And then you could run like the Veramos if needed, the Cadiz if needed. Now, if you wanted to splash them instead, then you could start talking about introducing a Lima into the equation, or maybe pairing it with a Kinky, you know, something like that. But to me, I think your strongest comp is probably gonna be with your Dark units, and I think that's where like your synergy really lies, right? As far as supplemental units that I would just have ruined in the background, Byung-Chul is so relevant in so many spots. Like the damage reduction is great. The strip on skill 2 is spectacular. But like, really, I think exactly what Floppy's talking about. I think going with that first one, where you leverage the Han speed lead, go full dark, like who cares? Just go full LD comp. Like, I think that's probably your strongest option. What a cool account. That is so cool. Where's Lightning? Where's Lightning? Lightning. And so you'll have to remind me. So what did you say that you needed assistance with? Let me see what I can do for you. Yeah, Kaneki, you know, I deliberately didn't this time. You know, I wanted to give people a little breathing room for it. You know, I want to make sure that it still keeps its impact, because that's a good joke. That's a good joke. So I just got to make sure that it's like stays relevant, right? So trying to start playing an RTA, I'm not sure what I have that is good in my storage or how to rune my units. Whew, it seems like everyone. Oh. It seems like everyone outspeeds you. And you know what? That's also okay. You can play turn 2. You can totally go turn 2 instead. Like we don't have to rush for that turn 1. But it might be the case that your speedy runes are kind of going on the wrong units. You know, maybe you need something that has like a higher base speed, for instance, just so that way you give yourself kind of an edge. Like if you do go with crowd control, I need, Runeblow says, I need help making a team for the Fire Howl Secret Dungeon, the hardest content in the game. Dude, no, for real, that's so funny. You're so right, actually. That's hilarious. So it might be that you are getting outsped because your runes are spread out to different units. I'm unable to see exactly what you have ruined for RTA or what's in your storage, but I can make reasonable assumptions. So let's say that you do want to outspeed. Let's just kind of humor that idea for a second. You do have monsters to support it. Like you could do something like, you could also go free to play. I've gotten cloven by a fair share of like Elsharion comps recently, and it's felt pretty bad being on the receiving end of it, so it must be really fun to play. You could also go with like a Varisa, who has a high-ish base speed for an AoE stripper at 105. So using very fast base speed units with speed leads usually is the answer to outspeed in today's meta. What's going on, Stoic? That was from Stoic in chat. I think that that's probably the reason why you're getting outsped, to be honest. I've seen that a couple times today. So if you wanted to do that sort of thing, you could go Varisa, you could do Sonya, you could do Federica if you wanted. You could try to go for like a pseudo snipe comp. If you were comfortable with going turn 2, and again, there is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going turn 2 at all. You know, Stoic likes to use the phrase built to receive, you know? It's like you can go Bruise instead. You can go with Velajul. You can use Velajul and Heigang as your first couple picks if you were so inclined. You could run. Let me see what else you got back here that's kind of bruise-centric. You can pick the Nora if they don't have any immunity on their comp. If they're not representing any immunity. Angel says, yeah, I don't have a good speed lead, I don't think. I've been leaning more towards the Minato being my main unit since he's a little tanky, and I like that. So that actually fits pretty well within the Bruiser comp because he protects himself. So you can actually, like, you know, he shouldn't be super fragile, but Minato can actually do better on lower HP than most monsters because of that protection that he allots to himself. So if you wanted, I still recommend picking the Velajul. I'm not Velajul's biggest fan right now, but it's mostly because he kind of slows down the game. But the reason he slows it down is because he is so dang good. Wild Hero, to answer your question, the Street Fighter version is faster than Kyle. So Dalsim is faster. I forget who tested that. It might have been F2P Player on YouTube. If you haven't seen that account, by the way, they've got actually a pretty great YouTube channel going on. They have free-to-play teams and show very reasonable runes and stuff. I actually really like their content. It's very straight to the point too, usually pretty short videos. But I believe it was them, and I apologize if I'm citing the wrong video for that. Either way, the point stands that you should watch their content, but Dalsim is in fact faster than Kyle. That is, and I'm very fortunate for that because I do have the water Dalsim. So back to the point, you could run like Velojoule with either Minato or Miles or both, but I would probably represent the Velojoule and then the Heigang first. And the reason for that is just Heigang's such a popular pick these days. He's a great counter pick, and he has a 100% activation rate strip on skill too. So you can bring him, and now you aren't going to get Heiganged in return, and they'll have one less strip option to take away the immunity that your Velojoule is putting up. Then if you wanted to get a little like juicy, you could actually run Elsharion as damage. I think that's really great, and he offers the strip, and that synergizes really well with your Heigang pick because again, they can't pick it against you. I think that's probably the route you want to go with. I notice you also have Shizuka. Shizuka can fit in here. I'd keep one of those ruined in the back. Keep a Federico ruined because it's a good threat. Zima is a really good starter in the sense that he can strip and silence everyone. So I would maybe keep him ruined as well. Dominic's another good bruise damage dealing option. I think those are probably my recommendations for your account right now as it is. So guys, I'm just going to move over to Europe for a second, and then we'll spend a couple minutes there. And I'm sorry I'm leaving so many people over in global. I did want to remind folks though, I try to do these things pretty frequently. So like if you don't get your account reviewed today, you should come back and I will do my best to get to you eventually. Chat channel 10 for folks on EU. Yes, you can move servers. You can move servers, but it's a different account. So it's not going to be the same account on both, right? But that's a good thing, right? You don't necessarily want to have your same account again. You could do a second account. Steel Fortress, Dekeko, let's do it. So this is a great base, but I think you're missing potentially one source of buff block. I think you're missing at least one source of buff block. I think that's probably what I would say. I think that this might be better without Fran, and instead you run Ehrgar. Then you can run Ehrgar's leader skill and have a second source of buff block. He only has it on skill 2, so it's not available all the time, but he will replace that attack buff. Also, somebody said a very nice comment that I missed. Where was it? That was very nice. I'm so glad you're enjoying the stream. I just saw that. Thank you so much. Wait, is Zinc not a secret dungeon now? Isn't Zinc is a secret dungeon? Am I wrong, guys? Chat, am I wrong? I think Zinc's a secret dungeon now, right? Because like, dude, if it's a secret dungeon, we got to get you a Zinc stat. Like, Zinc is absolutely the way. I just realized I'm on Europe, so I can't show you my team. But Second Awaken Zinc is just the way to do this dungeon. It makes it so easy. I would recommend a double will Zinc and Gina. Oh yeah, and Gina is a secret dungeon now. Guys, legitimately, like, dude, this is crazy. So what I would say, yeah, Wind Kung Fu Girl does do buff block as well. But here's what I would say about this is that like, Zinc, remember when earlier on I mentioned that video about the top 10 fake passives in Summoner's War? Zinc was also featured in that video because he buff blocks on every single skill. And I think that that's something that's incredibly valuable in Summoner's War because we talk about the concept of derping a lot, you know, where the monster has their turn, they finally need to do the thing you're bringing them for, and then they don't do it. And then they don't use the skill that would have won you the game. Certain monsters have no choice but to do a skill that benefits you, such as Prilea, such as Zinc. Zinc is perfect for this. So if you have a Zinc, do it. If you don't have Zinc, try to get one. I think he is a secret dungeon now. If he is not, I've forgotten, then you can run Gina instead. You can run Second Awaken Gina. But for now, something actionable that you can do right now is remove Fran and put in Ehrgar. Put in Ehrgar the Dark Vampire Lord. That's something that you can do like right now. Prod by Draxon says, I need help building an R5, a solo R5 team. So solo R5 is definitely like the most important thing. If you have a BJ5 comp already, that's perfect. It can fit in with the 3 teams. Just move it all the way to the right. It's very important. It's very important that you move it either all the way to the right or all the way to the left and put your absolute tankiest team in the middle. It sounds a little silly, but there's a method to the madness. And I think it was Once in Love that taught me this actually. The reason for that is because like when the head When the boss inevitably kills the BJ5 team, when they wipe, then the head will have no choice but to move to the middle. And now your tankiest team, who is geared up to take the double dragon, then you can actually, that's the way to do it. That's probably the easiest way to do solo R5. Because the 2 dragon heads can be really difficult if the team isn't built intentionally to survive them. So I'm gonna recommend a couple things. I might not go like full all units, but I will recommend a few tenets to keep in mind. One is damage reduction. And so you can find that on Darien and Dias. You've got Darien right here, so I would feature Darien probably in the middle one. And then Dias is the Dark Death Knight. I don't know if you've got him, but he is a Hall of Heroes. And he normally comes back pretty often. Honestly, if you missed his Hall of Heroes, that's okay. He's been a Hall of Heroes like 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 times since I started playing the game. So it's like, he'll be back. He will be back. Actually, wait, could you use Alice? Wait. Chat, can you use Alice? Serious question. I'm seriously asking. I do not know the answer to this question. Can you use Alice for R5? I think you could. I think you could use Alice, and it's not a passive. I don't know about R5. It's not a passive. This is really interesting. So, please know that like what I'm about to say is not necessarily like guaranteed because I haven't tested her. In fact, Struggle Buses has, and they said that she's kind of meh. She's viable with good runes. So take this with a grain of salt, but it might be cool to try Alice because you don't have Dias. And so you have a slot and you need to be able to reduce damage. So give that a try, but like go in kind of with a skeptical mind and see what happens after you use it. But I actually think that there could be a space for her to succeed there. I think you'd want to splash a team up effect. I actually use all 3 of the dogs across multiple teams, right? So I put Rauk and Crow in the same place. I put Ikaru on the other one. And the reason I do that is to refresh my cleanse that is on it. If you don't have a accessible option to AoE cleanse, you can use things like Mi Yang, excuse me. Isn't that crazy? The completely different monsters, Mi Yang. It's very funny. The naming conventions in Summoners War, yeah, that's a different conversation. But Riley's great. You've got Velojoule. You get perfect. You don't even have to think about it like that. You can put Velojoule on one, put Riley on another, and whichever one has Riley, I would put Mi Yang on, specifically because Velojoule's cleanse is always going to be better than Riley's, right? Because she only cleanses 1 debuff. Naming conventions now gave us an Evan. You know what, Kanagi? You're right. Maybe I should be a little nicer to Summoners War about that, huh? You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so I really hope that helps. Let's keep looking. Check this, Evan. I got burbs. Dude, you got so many burbs. Dude, this is the LD account. This is the LD account, huh? So this is where we're at, huh? This is post-secret dungeon, I bet. Now that Shaman's a secret dungeon. That's a lot of burb, dude. Are they all fully skilled up too? That's crazy. Actually, wait, how is this account doing? Let me just look at the comps real quick. 33 seconds? Dude, how is your comp is faster than mine? What? Wow. Angel, yes, I did. I got a few JJK units. So I got the Water Nobara, I got the Wind Nobara, I got the Wind Gojo, and I got the Light Yuji. And I haven't gotten anything new, but I haven't been summoning. I'm actually saving scrolls. We'll hopefully be doing a summon stream soon. So just keep that in the back of your mind, guys. We got something cool kind of coming up. It's a little twist on just a regular summon session. It should be neat. I think it's gonna be sick. So just something to keep in mind. But yeah, so hopefully I'll get maybe some more JJK units. That would be really hype. Wow, dude. Wow. Interesting. So like I noticed that like Necro is usually, well, Necro inherently takes longer than other dungeons because you got to break through the shield. Okay. Benny GT, we did just talk about R5. I don't know who to build for it. I'm kind of overwhelmed. Let me jump in. Wow, Dark Gojo? Dark Gojo on this account? Bruh, that's crazy. That's what I want. That's what I want, is a Dark Gojo. That sounds awesome. Dick Echo Games, do you think I'm ready for RTA, Evan? Dude, I think everybody's ready. I think everybody should jump in. Matthew, what's up, man? What's up, Matthew? How's it going, Matt? Okay, so we're talking about R5. And you're a little overwhelmed. So you might have heard me. Oh, wow, this is exactly at 2381 is the requirement. 2382. So this is right there. I think I won't spend too much time on this because we did just talk about it. I think this route could use just a smidge more speed, by the way. I would bring Brandia though, and I would also speed her up because she might not get to go. She's gonna like just kind of be sitting there, especially if the boss stuns her. It's gonna feel really bad. So I would speed this up a bit. I would probably go attack, crit damage, attack still, but look for speed in the substats. Oh, kind of overwhelmed. So look for the Light Vagabond. Look for Darien. Oh, here he is. Let's second awaken that Darien, and then let's find Dias, the Dark Death Knight. And if you don't have Dias, that's okay. You might actually be able to use Eladriel, actually. Eladriel could work. I don't think it's gonna be fast necessarily with the units that I'm recommending you, but I do think you'll be able to do at least you could probably do R4. You know, and there's no reason to rush. I forget who said, someone mentioned, it might have been RuneGlow, but like someone in chat mentioned, like, even if you can't do R5, just do R4. You know, the extra stats help so much, guys. So like, that's what I would recommend doing. I like do whatever floor you can. Try to second awaken that Darien and try to find another source of damage reduction. Again, that can be through Dias or some other means. You can also use Eladriel as a stand-in. Colleen is really good on like the BJ5 comps. And if you want to build a BJ5 team, there is actually a live stream in the live stream archive playlist on the channel, and it's called Let's Build a BJ5 Team. You know, I start the stream without one, and then by the end, I have one. And it functions. So if you wanted to build this as a facet of your solo R5 comp, which I still think is incredibly relevant, I would recommend watching that one. But guys, I'm so sorry to go so suddenly, but I just realized that we are up to time right now. So I have another stream today at 2 p.m. Pacific. It's gonna be the same place if you're watching on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, it'll be on the Soul Strike YouTube channel. Gonna be playing some Soul Strike, guys. And then later today, I think the Dark Sukuna Spotlight is coming out on YouTube, actually. So you guys should keep your eyes peeled for that. And over the weekend, we've got the America's Cup prelims. Both days, Saturday and Sunday on the Summoners War Esports channel and right here on twitch.tv/ComeToUsUSA. I will miss you guys. If you're on Twitch, stay in chat. We're gonna raid somebody. Bye, everyone. See you next time. Better. And we have the next step in SWC 2024 this weekend. All this and more on the Fuse News, episode 282. Let's not beat around the proverbial bush. These are the best transmogs that we've seen in ages. This suite of transmogs features the Pioneers, the Macaron Guards, the Onmyujis, the Second Awakened Griffins, as well as the Robos. And each one of them looks absolutely peak. I've been waiting for the right opportunity to get a new skin for my Wusa, and I jumped on this one like right away. I mean, just look at these things. They perfectly blend that pseudo like cyberpunk look with that Eastern vibe. I even love Pungbake, and traditionally Pungbake has been like my mortal enemy in the Summon Henge. It's such a beautiful blend of art and pixels. Now, when it comes to the Robos, you guys are gonna have to tell me which one you prefer. You like the Game Boy version of them or this new one? And when it comes to the Griffins, I definitely think that Bernard is probably a highlight. Even their first and second skills that are definitely more subtle than the others add this new, fresh sense of impact when they land, and I really appreciate that detail. And when the Onmyujis, specifically like Tomoe or Doman, get like a crit animation, they shake the screen. And I don't think I've seen that utilized yet. And then what is there to say about the Macaron Guards? They have dumplings now? That should be enough. Those are available in game right now. Tell me which one is your favorite and if you got any of them. I got Wusa, but I already said that like 3 times. If you're watching at the time of release,